Hey, what's up, guys? Randy here. Got another match for you between myself, Randy Mallett, and John Kasper. Today we're playing 9-ball, race to 10. And jumps, push-outs are allowed. No 9 on the break. All right, so I win the leg. I'll be breaking first. One ball, left corner, or excuse me, where did I get left corner? Right side pocket. And the one ball in side pocket as well. Okay, looks like I also made the 4-ball. So I'll be going from the 2 to the 3 here. And I remember this shot. It's straight in. I don't really feel that I can cheat the pocket enough to get enough position on the 3, which is down there by the 9. So I'm going to try to jack up and draw back, because I did this in my previous match and it worked out great. This time, not so much. So I not only missed the shot, I scratched. Had I made the shot, I probably wouldn't have scratched. So John, as you see, is in a skill level 6 in APA 9-ball. He's going to take ball in hand on the 2. And if it was me, I would have played it on the right side, the cue ball on the right side. Play the 2 in the left side pocket to get position on the 3 in the bottom right corner. And as you see, John is a Fargo 495. I believe he has been in the 500s lately. Recently dipped down, and my current was 601. And I think we're discussing how each of us would have played that shot and why he played for the combo. Maybe he's good at combos. There you go. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. Please subscribe. Give us a like, drop a comment, yada, yada, yada. And Kasper misses the bank shot in the side. So I don't know whether to call him John or Kasper in this video, because personally, I call him Kasper. Everybody knows him as Kasper, but in a way that sort of seems unprofessional for a commentator to do it. But it's his last name, and a lot of commentators, call players by their last name. But anyway, I'll call him Kasper. So we'll make the long shot on the 3, going from the 5 to the 8. Should be no problem here as long as I don't overrun the 8. Which is exactly what I do. Fantastic. So left with a bank shot on the 8. Fortunate enough to get a straight bank on the 8. Could have been a lot worse. And make the 8. Get a little out of position on the 9, but should be no problem. All right. Managed to avoid the scratch. 1-0. After the first rack, I'm in the lead. And we're playing winner breaks. And we're using a template for today's match. It's a turtle rack template. So I would definitely recommend if you're out looking to buy a template. Really only use the magic rack, the template, and I think I've used an Outsville rack in maybe in a few tournaments or somewhere, but turtle rack I find by far to be the best that I've used so far. So a couple more balls in the break, and sit and duck for the 1 ball. Just a slow roll to... Okay, the 2 is down by the 9 and the 5, so Should have hit that with a little harder. So it's tough. I didn't want to hit it with top spin because I didn't want to roll off the 9 and scratch in the right. So I ended up scratching in the top left. Again, please subscribe if your thing is watching Terribly Amateur Pool. All right, Kasper with a straight shot on the 2. Just going to slide down. Play the 4 next. Now he's looking at a different option. A lot of players don't like taking the longer ball in hand shots. And he does manage to maintain the angle on the 4 that he needed. So from here, I would probably go bottom left, come around 2 rails, maybe 3. And, well, will he get lucky? Yeah, almost perfect. Guys, of course, I'm on TikTok at Randy Mallett. Post a lot of trick shots on there. So Kasper doesn't come down the table quite enough for the 8 ball. Murphy. That's my little one Murphy there, to the left of the table. He's a Chowini. Such a good boy. So Kasper misses the bank and leaves me with a bank. I guess we're playing bank the 8 today. I could cut it in the side, but boy, that's really a thin cut. And I'm probably thinking I may be able to just bank it in the bottom left with maybe a half tip above center, have the cue ball follow the 8 to the rail and leave it about right there. Maybe not right on the rail though. Okay, I'm looking at my aiming point for the bank shot. Lining up the 8, here we go. So I knew my angle was kind of wide, so I wanted to hit it a little softer. It was a little wider than I thought it was. So Kasper with a full table bank or a cut on the 8. I think I would cut it myself, and that's what he's looking to do. Just come up and down the table twice. Don't want to get too crazy here, right or left with the cue ball. Just straight up and down, so maybe just a touch of inside. And he's kind of left it in the middle of the table, so he's going to be forced to bank the 9. Pretty good angle. Slow rolls it. I think I can, and he does bank the 9 ball. So Kasper on the board, 1-1. Kasper to break, and rack 3. Makes the wing ball, and he's got to look at the 1. Maybe another bank or a tough cut in the side or corner. Okay, Kasper back at the table. And looks like 2 balls at the bottom right part of the table. Stop shot on a bank shot here would leave him with, well, a good shot on the 2, but he'd have to swing around to the lower short rail, left long rail to get position on the 3, but it's going to be pretty tight. If the 3 passes the 5 in the bottom left corner pocket, that would be optional, so he could always bank the 1 and pocket the 2 in the bottom right and swing around to the left short rail and above the 3. Let's play the 3 in the bottom left corner. Kasper's taking a look at it. And you have to forgive us. Sometimes we would, me and him are friends. This is not a money match. Good bank shot there. Oh, we almost scratched. Yeah, we're friends, and we'll talk about shots. We'll try to help each other out or ask why they did a certain shot a certain way. Just kind of pick their brain and see what they were thinking. So forgive us if we're playing a little slow or if it seems like it. But if you're watching pool for good safety there, if you're watching pool for instant gratification or some high-speed action sporting event, then you're watching the wrong sport, without a doubt. I love pool with every fiber of my being, but I gotta admit it's like watching paint dry sometimes if you're not involved with the game yourself. But pool is a game of strategy. It's not about who's the fastest and quickest, strongest. I think shot clocks are a good thing. Especially if we want to try to build this sport into more of a watchable sport, for those on watching TV or YouTube, what have you. But it's a strategic game. It's a thinking game. And I would even so far as give advice to other amateurs out there. Take your time on each shot. Don't worry so much. My wife, she plays APA. She's a skill level 3. And I told her at times to take your time on the shots. Use your practice strokes. And a lot of times she'll just get down on the ball, especially when she has to reach for a long shot. She'll do no practice strokes at all and just shoot. And I'll tell her to take her time, but she says she doesn't want to disrespect her opponent by taking too much time. Plus, I probably because she's a 3, maybe she doesn't think she's quote unquote good enough to take her time, and it looked like she knows what she's doing. Everybody should take their time on every shot. The biggest reasons amateur players miss shots, probably professionals as well, is either not taking your time or taking the shot serious enough like every other shot, or hitting the ball too hard or too soft, mostly too hard. So, yeah, take your time. All right, so that's going to be a foul. Luckily, we're not playing all ball fouls. Tapped the 7 and moved it back. But all right, Kasper with ball in hand. We'll go back to the game here. A little tricky here on the 7, unless he wants to play the combo. And we know he likes combos, so. Yeah, if we're going to play short side on the 7, I would just play there in the side. Looks like it passes the 9 in the top corner. But you got to keep it simple, stupid. Remember? Not calling you stupid, Kasper, by the way. Oh, no, he's in trouble now. He went a little too far for the cue. And now he's in no man's land. I don't think he can see the 7 ball at all. Ooh. This cloth, it's Simonis 760, and it's a fast cloth. It's probably 5, 6 years old now. And what happened? I turned my head. I think he kicked at the ball and made the 9 accidentally. So 9 spots back up, and leaves me with an opportunity to bank or cut this 7 ball. Neither myself nor Kasper playing very well so far to start the match, but that'll change. Hopefully. 7 ball on the side, float down, play the 8 in the bottom left. Just stun over a hair, play the 9 in the lower right. Or go one rail. All right, let's go up 2-1. All right. Well, I like flirting with that scratch, don't I? Okay, I'm breaking again. Again, it's winter breaks. Trying to pot the 1 ball in the right side pocket and the wing ball in the lower corner pocket. And hit the wing ball, but not the 1 ball. Fortunately, it's right in front of the side pocket, but is the 6 in the way? And it looks like it just barely is. And if it is, looks like I may just do a bank safe. Just kind of get that 1 ball out of there and leave the cue ball behind the 6 or the 7. Looking at a few different options there, probably. Doing my calculus, trigonometry, geography, all that good stuff. Still can't decide. Murphy's tired of waiting, so he goes in the kitchen looking for food, undoubtedly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of any way imaginable to make this 1 ball in the side pocket, but it's just not happening. So, yeah, you see me pointing down there. I'm either calling a bank or just playing a bank safe, or maybe a 2-way. I'm gonna say I don't think it goes in the corner, and just try to play a little safety, but didn't hit it hard enough. Leaves Kasper open. He wastes no time. Good stroke, good follow through. Kasper's a good shot, man. He'll surprise you. I think he, just like the rest of us amateurs, suffer from the same fatal flaws. Not taking your time, shooting too hard, not playing the right angles or right patterns. And, all that stuff takes years to develop. And Kasper has improved by leaps and bounds over the past several years. I've seen him play and played in the league with him. Ooh, he's in trouble again here on the 6 ball. And Kasper, whether he doesn't have a jump cue or not, I don't recall, but more of a kick shot guy. And it's a good hit, but he'll leave me with a shot at least. Not too terribly hard of a cut in the bottom right. And maybe natural position can bring it back up. Well, 3 rails. And I'm just going to play a safety here. And it looks like it landed perfectly in between the 9 and 8 ball. It's where he has a bank on the 6. Let's see. Oh. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he was playing another safety. I think I scored that as a miss. So if I was wrong, Kasper, my apologies. Of course, stay tuned to the end of the match. I always keep track of all the statistics for each match just for fun. I'm kind of a numbers guy, or numbers geek, nerd, however you want to call it. Remember when I was a kid, one of my first careers that I wanted to pursue, that I remember thinking at least, was a statistician. Like at 6, 7 years old. And I know some grown-ass adults that can't even pronounce that word, much less, want to do something like that with their lives. But not that I'm, any smarter than anybody. Trust me, I'm not. But I've always liked numbers, been pretty good with numbers, and looking on the back of baseball cards and remembering stats, things like that. So, yeah, at the end of the match, we'll have the advanced stats for each player. Their shot percentage, their break percentage, how many balls on break they make, etc., etc. So Kasper's on the 6. Not a lot of great options here. Looks like he's going to try to cut the 6 in the side. Oh, good try. Just short, unfortunately leaves me straight in on the 6. Oh, well, again, talking about not taking your time. Really should have used a little backspin on that. But I correct my line, and pretty good on the 8. Just come down a little bit. Play the 9 in the opposite pocket to go up 3-1. All right. And almost scratched again. Jesus. And that may stem from, 3 or 4 years ago, I would practice making the 9 ball on angled shots, but your average 9 ball shot that comes up in 9 ball games. So pretty good break there. And I would intentionally shoot the ball hard, too hard, and try to come around at least 2 rails, just to get an idea of how to avoid scratching on any shot, really. But any shot where you have to put a little speed on it and maybe go 2+ rails. Just kind of gives you an idea of where those pockets are, when you're shooting those hard angled shots where it's going to either come close or go towards the pocket. And another good practice drill for cue ball control and to avoid scratching is intentionally trying to scratch. Make those, easy shots or semi-easy shots, and try to either draw back into a pocket and scratch, or try to go 1 rail and scratch or 2 rails and scratch. Doing so will help you, again, learn where those pockets are in the back of your head, and as long as you remember not to play the shot like that in a real game or tournament or match. Okay, I missed the bank on the 3. Should have been a run out there. Thanks again for joining, everybody. Haven't posted many videos here lately, but I'm starting to get back on track. Played Holden Umphreys a few weeks ago, and that's been posted. Be sure to check that out. We also played a race to 10 and 9-ball. And had this match versus Kasper. Very good shot there. Looks like he come around far enough to get on the 4. And let's see if he can go 3 rails to get on the 6. Oh, I guess he was just trying to bump the 6 and 8 out. Create some separation. He's done just that. Left with a fairly tough cut on the 6. Gotta be really careful when you're angled up that high. Causes you to miss very easily, and he scratches. It's a ball in hand foul. But yeah, coming up very soon, playing a match against Cody Culver, also from Southeast Missouri. He's a very strong player. 7 in APA 9-ball, or excuse me, 8-ball, a 9 in APA 9-ball. He also plays BCA. I think he's a 605 Fargo player. Established. And a left-hander. So Cody's fun to watch. He's got a really good stroke. And, he's tall, so he's got that stature of a pool player. It just looks like he can play pool. And he can. Me and him have played many times. You'll see some older videos with us playing. I don't know who's had the winning record overall head-to-head. It's probably close. Okay, I'm trying to finish up this rack here, and I go way too far for the 8-ball. Looks like I still may have a cut shot here. A lot of people struggle with not just making this shot, but holding position on the next ball. Not necessarily holding, but getting position, because you're not going to hold the cue ball anywhere. It's coming off that rail, and you have to think, do I want to go 2 rails, 3 rails, maybe 4 rails? And I went for the bank shot, and I made it. Probably one of those just trying to make it. Know the cue ball is going in that direction of the table. And one of those take your medicine shots, as long as you make it, you're still at the table to shoot the 9. And again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it's just a 7-foot table. But these long shots, especially with the cue ball on the rail, are not that easy. And luckily I made it. Didn't come anywhere near a side pocket or a corner pocket. All right, so I'm up 4-1. Breaking again. I invite anybody that's in my area, if you're watching this, give me a shout. We'll meet up, do a match. We don't have to do it at my house. Of course, this is filmed at my house. We could do it at a neutral site, or we could do it at your place or pool hall, whatever you think. Always looking for new players to match up with. We can film or not film, don't matter to me. Totally up to you. Here's a replay on the break shot. Pretty good break. Make the wing ball and the 7-ball. I missed the 1 in the side, but the 2-ball goes in. And a shot on the 1, so pretty good. I would take that every single break if I could. Another long shot on the 1. A little easier though, since the 1 is closer to the cue ball. Of course, I miss it. And knowing how much Kasper loves combination shots, I left him with a really easy one, right? Well, not so much. These just enough separation in between the two to make it a little tricky. There you go. But it doesn't leave me with. Well, looks like the bank is still in play. Top left corner. Well, I'm pointing at the bottom right corner, so looks like the bank is not in play. So I'll be kicking. Maybe try to leave the cue ball behind the 1, and I missed the 5 ball altogether. Oh, excuse me, we are on the 1. Good hit, good hit. Good answer, good answer. All right, well. Because I was trying to make the 1 in the corner. Kasper's going for the bank here. Nice smooth follow through and just barely misses. Maybe played that a little too slow. And the 1 and the 8, I remember it's lined up to, the 8 ball's lined up to hit the right side of the pocket. So I don't think this shot will go. So I'm going to try to use a little bit of throw, hit it on the far left side of the 1. Or excuse me. Well, I hit it so hard, it looks like I was playing it to just go straight in the pocket, but I didn't think it was possible. Kasper on the 1. Nails it. Long shot on 4, but should be okay. If he can make this, okay. He misses, but leaves me bad. You know, guys, those longer shots, go ahead and hit it with speed and come 2, 3 rails if you have to. I know they say the less the cue ball travels, the better. And in a lot of shots, many shots, most shots, you know, that's absolutely true. But sometimes when your instinct is to tell you to hit at 1 speed to make the ball, but then your brain tells you to hit it a little softer because you don't want the cue ball to, you know, get out of position. But practice those shots where you hit it harder and come around a rail or 2 for position. And a lot of times that seems to be the better option. So I'm getting the jump cue out here. Not the best jumper in the world. Of course, illegal to jump in APA leagues, which is mostly what I play or used to play. I'm just trying to make contact, bring the 4 up table. And I get a little lucky, although he does still have an open shot. There's the replay. I guess I was trying to leave the cue ball behind the 5. So either way, it's a long shot. Something Kasper is definitely capable of knocking out. And, ooh, he just barely misses it. Leaves me with an opportunity to go up by 4 if I can run this rack out. Does the 6 pass the 9? That's what I'm looking at. If it does, it should be pretty straightforward to run out. 4 in the left side, 5 in the top right, 6 in the bottom left, 8 in the top left, and 9 in the bottom left. But we'll see how I screw this one up. Stop shot on the 4. Looks like I'm pretty straight on the 5. So I'm going to have to draw back a little, at least a little. Probably wanted a little more than that. Still looks like I'm not 100% sure if the 6 will pass the 9. Usually when you see a player look that long at a shot, pretty often it doesn't go. It's like your mind is just wanting it to go somehow, and that's probably what happened to me. So, give this game away. Gotta love 9 ball. Have an amazing rack, run out to the 7, 8, or 9 and miss, and just let your opponent clean up the table and get credited for the game win. Oh, and does he make it in the corner? No. Thought I got a little lucky there for a second, but he misses the 8 in the top left. So it gives me another chance to redeem myself here. See if I go all the way around the 9 ball or just back up. Okay, I went ahead and played 4 rails. And that was a perfect example of hitting the shot a little harder. A lot of players would try to have hitting that slowly, try to hold position for the 9 ball in that part of the table. But just if you know, or at least have a general idea of where your cue ball is going. Generally speaking, I do. Go ahead and hit it with a little more speed and come around 2, 3, 4 rails. And especially if there's just one ball on the table, so chances are you won't get hooked. All right. Looks like I made the 1 on the side, and I guess the wing ball. So the 1 down and the 5 is down. So I'll be shooting the 2 ball there in the middle of the table. Not much there. No bank shot is on. Don't think I can see enough of it to cut it in the bottom left. So I'm probably just going to play a slow rolling safety, leave the cue behind the 4 or the 9. And I hit it way too hard. Thought I was going to get lucky and leave it behind the 3, but it looks like Kasper can see the 4 here, or excuse me, the 2. But you're really flirting with that corner pocket scratch if you do, so looks like he may be going for the kick here. Nope, he misses. And leaves the cue ball behind the 6. Doesn't look like it goes from here. Maybe try a little curve shot. Yeah, looks like that may be what I'm doing. No, just barely missed. There's my good boy Murphy. Oh. Gives you an idea of how fast the cloth is. I tried to kill the cue ball as much as I could, and you could see it lose momentum as it got closer to the 2 ball, but still traveled a lot further than I wanted to. So it looks like the 3 ball, well, I don't know if it passes the 6 or not. Looks like I'm going ahead and I'm going to play it. Okay, boy, it must have just barely went by the 6. Let's see that on replay. Yep, just barely. But I'm not left with an open shot on the 4. As I'm feeling lucky, I want to try to shoot the combo. And looks like that's what I'm going to be doing. Not an easy combo here with it angled like it is. So I'm just looking, imagining the cue ball was the 4 ball was the cue ball, and that's how I figure my aim. And it goes in the pocket. All right. Let's check that one out. Perfect. All right, so I'm on a 5-game run here. 6-1 is the score. Race to 10. Wing ball down. 7 ball down. No shot on the 1. So probably a push out here. For all you amateur players or fans that are not aware of push outs, that's in 9 ball only. It's the shot immediately following the break only. You can push the cue ball, of course with the cue tip, anywhere on the table. You could even make contact with any ball as long as it stays on the table. And then give your opponent to take the shot or to give it back to you. So you want to put it in a place where maybe they can easily hit the ball, but it doesn't leave them a terribly easy shot or much of a shot at all. It kind of forces your opponent to either be creative or dare you to do something with it. And I do play a push shot because I knew the 1 wouldn't play in the bottom right corner. It's not going to play in the bottom left either, I don't think. So let's see if he can hide this 1 ball somewhere, or cue ball. And he's going for the bank shot, and he misses. Puts quite a bit of separation between the 1 and the cue ball. I mean, 7 foot, that's about as much as possible. So I may be trying to thin the 1, leave the cue ball back down table, or bank the 1 back down table and leave the cue ball up table, which is what I tried. And that's going to be a pretty good safety, I think. Still a path to the bottom rail for the kick shot for Kasper. And that's what he does. Barely makes contact, but that turned out to be pretty good for him. I think he meant to leave the 1 ball up table and have the cue ball stay down table, but the opposite turned out pretty fine for him. And I don't think I can see enough of this shot to make it. Going for a cross bank, maybe a 2-way cross bank / safe. And again, I'm not quite getting the full snooker on these safety shots that I want to be. I think Kasper can see the ball enough to make the 1, but look at the 2 ball down here on the bottom rail. That's going to be a lot of right hand spin. And I think he was going for a cross bank on that shot. And he accidentally makes the 1 in the side. And I don't remember our rules, but he's giving me the shot back. So obviously one of those, quote, slop shots. And 9 ball is typically played where anything counts, but I guess we agreed to no slop shots before the game. So again, try another safety. Not a very good one. Just trying for the 2 in the corner. Good shot. Good shot. And he was probably going to play the 4 in the right side or top right corner, but he's left straight in with the 4. He makes it. Good shot on the 5, so good chance to run out here. Another good shot. But he's kind of halfway in between the corner and the side, so looks like he's going to choose the corner pocket. Good shot. So there are 3 or 4 consecutive shots by Kasper. Shows he can play. He's better than what he's played today so far. So it's calling for the bank shot just to hold position for the 9. And he makes it. Draws the cue ball back towards the center of the table. So now he's either faced with a tough cut or the bank shot. He's going for the cut. Oh, and he misses. Dang it. Well, I thought he was going to get back on the board and start a comeback, but as long as I can avoid a scratch, it should be okay. Yeah. All right. Well, up 8-1. Excuse me, 7-1. Breaking. 7 ball on the lower left, 1 ball on the right side. Nope. But I did make the wing ball 7 ball, so the 1 is wide open. The 2 is sitting duck basically as well. And the 3 balls on the right side rail. And given where the 4 is at, really hard to tell where you'd want to play the 3. Obviously, the easy shot is if the cue ball is above the 3, but then it's harder to get that perfect position with the 5 ball being there. So maybe you want to play below the 3, but it looks like I played the 2 to play it above the 3. So let's see if I can get that position. And if I hadn't bumped that 6 ball, I probably wouldn't have. So honestly, I got a little lucky there probably. So I'm just making sure the 4 will pass the 9 and where the cue ball should be to make it a little easier. Probably wanted it off the rail a little bit more. Got to jack up a little now, which again, it drastically decreases your shot percentage. But I make it and kind of straight in on the 5. It's really personal option here if you just want to slow roll it to play the 6 or hit a little harder and come around 2 or 3 rails to play it in the side. But looks like I slow rolled it and overhit it. So now I need to play it in the probably the bottom left just to maintain cue ball position for the 8. And I'm probably complaining to myself here, but I'm the world's best pool player at screwing up breaking runs. Can't tell you how many times I've gone down to the last ball or 2 and just totally goofed it up. All right, well, I make the 6. Pretty good on the 8. But kind of halfway in between having the cue ball come around to play the 9 in the bottom left, or if I just want to follow it up and down and play it in the bottom right. And I try to put draw on the cue ball and swing out to play the 9 ball in the bottom left, but I end up running into the 9 ball. Fortunately, not very hard, so I still have a shot. Going for the breaking run here. breaking run. So that puts me up 8 games to 1. 8 down, 2 to go. All right, I'm breaking again. 8 ball in the corner, 1 ball on the side, 7 in the left side. Really, really good break here. Pretty good shot on the 2 ball. So 2 in the lower left, 3 in the bottom right. Probably play the 4 in the bottom right as well. Maybe even the 5. It depends on where you're at on the 4 ball. Watch outside, pocket. Ooh. I was a little too confident on that shot. So a couple different options here. You can play this shot. That was very risky because the 9 could have just as easily have blocked my 4 ball shot here if I'd have hit that wrong. Okay, good little stun follow to get perfect position on the 5 to come up for the 6. Down and up 1 rail. All right, slow roll to 6. Good on the 9. And 2 breaking runs in a row. What do you know? All right, I'm on the hill. 9 games to 1. Again, guys, Kasper's way better than this. I'm kind of playing a little better than I was earlier in the match. And he's starting to play better. Here's a good break. But yeah, he's better than this. We played again. And if the score was 10-8 by either player, it wouldn't have surprised me at all. Good break here. 3 balls down. Playing the 2 with top right spin to get back up the table. And I slopped it in the pocket. And Kasper will be on the 5 ball, right? That's the 6 ball on the left side of the table, so. Did he lose his cue stick? No, he's got it. All right. Okay, watch out, left side pocket. Okay, it's a little slower than he normally would to avoid the scratch, probably. You see, Kasper's got a really good pre-shot routine, good stroke, good follow-through, stays down through the shot. He's balanced. Just barely misses the 7. All right, just play the 8 in the bottom right. Just come down, okay, 2 rails back out. And the 9 ball for the win. Guys, I want to thank you again for joining us, watching the match. And stay tuned for the next match, which will be coming up in coming weeks. Me versus Cody Culver. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. Have a good day.